Hey friends, I hear the Lord say there are prophetic steps and actions to take that break down walls, that break down oppositions, that scatter gang-ups, that break through roadblocks. There are prophetic actions. I hear the Lord saying, ask me for what prophetic action to take in order for the thing that needs to break to be broken. And God will show you something to do. It will be unusual. It will be strange. It will be unusual. It will be weird. It will be eccentric. It will be odd to your understanding as to how is this going to break this delay, break through this opposition, break through this gang up, break past this embargo. It will be something unusual and seemingly not possessing the power to cause for the breaking to happen. But the break will happen. Follow the instructions. Ask God what the prophetic action to take would be that would break the thing that you want to be broken, that would shatter the thing that you want to be shattered, that would scatter the thing that you need to be shattered, that would help you break past the thing that is standing in your way. In 2 Kings chapter 4 verses 1 to 7, we meet a widow who is recently widowed and has a son, and the creditors have come because the husband has died and yet still owes money to people, but she has nothing. So she goes to Elisha, and this is how the story unfolds. I'm going to read from 2 Kings chapter 4 verses 1 to 7. Now the wife of a son of the prophet cried to Elisha, "Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that your servant feared the Lord. But the creditor has come to take my 2 sons for his slaves." Elisha said to her, "What shall I do for you in the house?" She said, "Your handmaid has nothing in the house except a jar of oil." Then he said, "Go around and borrow vessels from all your neighbors, empty vessels, and not a few. And when you come in, shut the door upon you and your sons. Then pour out the oil you have into all those vessels, setting aside each one when it is full." So she went from him and shut the door upon herself and her sons, who brought to her the vessels as she poured the oil. When the vessels were all full, she said to her son, "Bring me another vessel." And he said to her, "There is not one left." Then the oil stopped multiplying. When she came and told the man of God, he said, "Go, sell the oil and pay your debt, and you and your sons live on the rest." This woman was being told something very odd to do by the prophet Elisha. Just borrow some vessels and take a little bit of oil. But that response to the direction to take the step of that prophetic action to solve her problem activated prophetic activity to be able to be released from a little bit of oil that couldn't have filled all of the jars that she borrowed, all of the jars that she had. By following these prophetic actions that were revealed by the prophet, revealed to the prophet by the Holy Spirit of God, this woman was able to find the help that she needed and be able to sell the oil and therefore be able to pay the husband's creditors and no longer be in debt to anyone, but in fact grow rich from that day forth. There are many examples like this as well, where Elisha or any other prophet tells whoever has come to them to, I remember somewhere else in the Bible where animals start dying because they drinking water from a stream where the water is bitter, and they tell the prophet that this is what's happening, and the prophet takes some salt and throws it in the river, and suddenly the water is turned sweet, and whatever sickness, whatever E. coli, whatever infection is in the water is cleared up, and they're now able to take the animals to that very same river that had bitter waters, and the waters have been turned sweet because of the activity that faith releases, that remains and sits on a prophetic action. Heed. I'll talk to you next time. Stay blessed and be blessed.